This Redditor asked for some feedback on a new clothing store they launched about a month ago. It's kind of athletic, yoga gear, kind of fashion oriented, and they're wanting a breakdown on their site. They've got steady traffic and minimal sales. So let's dig into this site.
And while he's pulling that up, guys, branding is such a interesting topic because the best person to ask how on key or on customer your branding is your customer. Obviously you want to stay true to, if you're a designer, you're a creative, and that's your brand, then you need to stay true to yourself with minimal feedback. But if you're a company, especially a company building for a consumer, I just want to preface this with, I don't know when the last time y'all squeezed into some yoga pants were, but these are going to be higher level. It's a bad image in my head now. These are going to be some higher level thoughts. These are going to be some higher level thoughts on branding and structuring the company, and then going from there.
Yeah. So when you first land on their homepage, I would say that their nav here is getting lost in the image a little bit. So maybe have some sort of gradient or something behind their nav so that you can kind of actually dig in to what's going on.
It looks good on some images, and others it fades in. Yeah.
The imagery's good though, and then they break right into product categories, and then down into probably a grid of specific product.
So Blake, question here. This, from a design standpoint of the website, this looks like, obviously it's templated. Mm-hmm. How do you have the ability, or what is someone's options, a part of their brand, to be a different user experience on the site itself? Like, can you talk about this structure versus something like perhaps with Engine?
Yeah.
What is that difference? What is that customability, and how does that reflect in the brand itself?
Sure. So if you're on a Shopify template and you don't have the HTML and CSS skills to fully brand that perfectly how you want it to look like, you can start working on things like fonts, things like button colors, and start changing those to match your brand, and that will go a long way from standing out and making your site look kind of more customized and less kind of stock Shopify theme you get from like jumping out of the gate.
I'm the algorithmic marketer here. You don't want branding lessons from me. This to me looks great. I mean, I don't know what it is, but what I've always found is when I'm with, as an algorithmic marketer, a good brand marketer, it's 1 + 1 = 3. And that, to me, how you build a brand by math, okay, comes down to beautiful imagery, number one. And that, you can build a brand around beautiful imagery. I mean, think about it. You're on Instagram, let's say.
Yep.
Well, how many pixels do you have? It's not like you can go tell your life story of how this brand came to being, and the genesis is this, and we're so passionate, and you should follow us because of whatever. It comes down to imagery.
Yep.
And then likewise, where your brand is associated with is another mathy type thing. It comes down to customer acquisition. So which influencers are wearing your product on their feed in the wild? That to me is a great brand building exercise. It goes beyond the design. And you can actually measure a lot of the things that I for a long time I thought branding was hocus pocus and wizard stuff, and it didn't make any sense. And now the math supports everything you guys just said.
Yep.
Yeah, and from a branding perspective, I mean, I love math, I love quant marketing, but I also am a very romantic marketer in the fact that I sometimes think math is a post-game decision or a way to optimize something that's already great. You look at amazing brands and brand videos. So Dollar Shave Club pops up, just straight top of mind with an amazingly well done branding video. And it literally led to, I mean, you can speak from the math perspective, but without that video, without that sketch comedy, without his branding behind it, I don't think they have nearly the success that they have. And so from that, and you look at other companies like Supreme is an amazing company to talk about from a branding perspective because their brand is very interesting. They don't really interact with their consumers. They're very, this is what we like, and if you like it, great. If you don't, we don't care. And it's created such a culture that people, there's an entire subculture of people who just sell Supreme clothing as resellers that are not an actual business. It's just in the streets selling things.
Yeah.
So what makes a brand unique is ultimately having that combination of a math marketer as well as a brander who knows how to culture hack, knows how to understand what a consumer wants a minute before the consumer realizes that's what they want.
I'm hurt though. You hurt my feelings, and I'm going to be honest about it. You said you're a romantic marketer. I've seen some spreadsheets that are just pure romance.